Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. We are from group 2 and we would like to talk about the topic we have been decided is a vector. Definition of vector. A vector is a mathematical object that can be represented by an ordered set of numbers, typically arranged in a column or row. Each number in the set is known as a component or coordinate of the vector. Vectors are often denoted using lowercase bold letters or an arrow above the letters, such as V or arrow right V, respectively. Thank you.
So next, we are going to history of vector. The history of vector begins when they were first discovered in the two main decades of the 19th century. Among those who began to speak about this vector were Caspar Wessel and Jean Robert Argand, and also Carl Friedrich Gauss, who were among those who consider a complex number as a point in a two-dimensional plane or two-dimensional vector. So next, in 1827, a work was published by a writer named August Ferdinand. The book, entitled The Barometric Calculus. Through the work, the author tries to introduce directed line segment that can be symbolized by letters of the alphabet and vector accept names. James Clerk Maxwell is from Scotland and an alumnus of the University of Cambridge. Has a deep interest in mathematical physics, which in the end has given rise to the mathematical classification of physical quantities. Through this classification, Maxwell has divided physical variables into two types of categories, which is namely scales and vectors. It can be said that development of the vectors algebra and vector analysis began to be revealed in a remarkable set of notes that J. William Gibbs produced for his students at Yale University. In addition, Gibbs also introduced the quaternion when he had read a treatise given by Maxwell on electricity and magnetism and come to a conclusion that a vector will provide a more efficient tool for his work in physics. To introduce Maxwell's theories of electricity and magnetism to Germany in 1894, the vector method was included in several books and translated into German to make it easier for them to apply the theory. After that, the vector method was first introduced to Italy, Russia, and Netherlands, which is Italy on 1887 to 1897, Russia 1907, and the last one, Netherlands, on 1903. Today, vectors are the modern language of math, physics, and applied mathematics, and then they continue to hold their own interesting mathematical interests.
The next slide is about application of vector. The first one is military use. Any cannons that fire projectile using cannon power or any other type of propellant, normally based on explosive, is considered a cannon. The caliber, range, mobility, rate of fire, and angle of fire of the ground are all different. The vector decides where the bullet will go and hit the ground. The second one is ammunition. Baseball vectors are automatically used by players of sport like basketball and baseball. In the end, the student either hit the target or threw the ball in angled direction, both of which were done using their understanding of vectors. The third one is game. Vectors are used to store position, direction, and speed in the video game. The position vector tells us the distance of the object, the velocity vector tells us the time it takes or the force we should apply, and the direction vector tells us how we should apply that force.
Is example of application. First, movement and speed. One of the most important use of vector is to describe motion and speed. In physics, motion is often represented by a vector quantity called displacement. Imagine a person crossing a field, a vector that can accurately represent the distance and direction between its starting point and its current position. Number 2 is strength and motivation. Vector play an important role in understanding and analyzing force in the physical world. Force can be represented as vector of magnitude and direction. Number 3, electric and magnetic fields. In the field of electromagnetism, vectors are used to describe electric and magnetic field. The electric field is represented by vector indicating the direction of the force acting on the charge carrier. Next is infographic and games. Vector and widely used in computer graphics and games. All objects displayed on the computer screen are displayed.
In conclusion, vectors have both magnitude and direction. They can be added together or multiplied by scalar to create a new vector. They are commonly used in physics and engineering to represent force, velocity, and other physical quantity. If you study vector, you will learn how to add, subtract, and multiply vector, and how to use them to solve problems in physics, engineering, and other fields. You will learn how about vector space and linear transformation, which are important in concept in mathematics and computer science.